Flight Simulator 2020 looks fantastic, and if you're like me, you've been checking for new footage of it on a daily basis. The graphics look amazing, especially given the sheer scope of what they've had to build. But of course, the closer graphics get to photorealism, the easier it gets to see flaws. So here are my top 5 graphics issues that once I notice, I can't not see them. Now, of course, I know FS 2020 is a work in progress, and really importantly, they're going to keep working on it after the launch, so I'm sure these will get fixed as the technology improves. Also, I don't want these nitpicks to spoil the game for you, so only watch the rest of this if you don't think that'll be the case.
Alright, here we go. Number 5. Weird traffic.
I know this is super nitpicky. It's amazing to have traffic at all, given that it's being automatically generated directly on satellite data. Think about that. As your AI has to look at a collection of pixels, recognize them as a road, figure out the road's boundaries and direction, then navigate 3D cars on it. That's amazing technology, but clearly it still needs some work, and in the meantime it's going to be fun to watch some crazy drivers.
Number 4. Really heavy ambient occlusion. Ambient occlusion, if you don't know, is a way of simulating all the soft shadows that form when you have a very diffused light source. For instance, look what happens when I remove the ambient occlusion from this render. So yeah, it's really important to making things look like they have real-world lighting. The problem is it can be hard to get the right balance of AO, and I've seen a bunch of Flight Simulator screenshots where the AO is massively blown out. All the jetliners have these shadows above the wings caused from too much AO, and it even spills into areas with direct lighting. Still, it's better than not having it at all, so I'm not complaining too hard.
Number 3. Baked-in satellite imagery. And this one is definitely going to be the hardest to fix. So Flight Simulator, like Google Earth, relies on directly using photographs for its imagery, but those photos inevitably come with their own specific lighting and perspective. Take a look at this Flight Simulator screenshot of the Grand Canyon. All of those shadows you see are frozen in the image. For this screenshot, Flight Simulator's time of day more or less matches the satellites, so it all looks okay. But if you tried to fly here in, say, the morning, there's just nothing in these shadows for the in-game lighting to brighten. Same thing here with the Campanile in Venice. You can see Flight Simulator's in-game shadow competing with the shadow that's baked into the photo. Also interesting is this image of Hong Kong. So, imagery of cities is usually gotten from planes, not satellites, which means it's taken at a slight angle, so the buildings occlude the ground behind them. You can see here, Flight Simulator has generated 3D buildings, but they're stuck sitting on top of the flattened versions of the same buildings. Now, the only way to fix these issues is to either blend a bunch of photos taken at different times and at different angles for the whole world, or come up with AI that can efficiently recognize these issues and paint over them with auto-generated imagery. I know that's something that they are certainly working on, but it's just not fully applicable yet. Number 2. Weird cloud shapes. Look, it's gonna be amazing to finally have truly 3D voxel-based clouds to fly through, and Asobo's clearly put a ton of work into making a fully functional, sophisticated weather system. That said, the results can be kind of weird, and I just know that 10 years from now we'll be looking back and laughing at how we thought these looked so realistic. So the first problem I see is there's a noticeable lack of wispy cloud detail. Real-world clouds are swirling around in a fluid, so the soft gradients you see here should be full of little wisps. But that would mean massively upping the voxel resolution to the point where people's graphics cards would probably catch fire. Second, where are the cirrus clouds? Are these supposed to be cirrus clouds? I want to see big, tendrilless, high-altitude wisps, even if it means just putting an image texture on some flat geometry. I guess their voxel engine can only handle convex shapes. Third, I stumbled across this image in an article about how great the clouds are. You see these lines going back? That kinda looks like they're tiling. And sure enough, I found this top-down view from the Discovery series. Yeah, that's tiling. I don't see how that's even a thing in procedurally generated clouds. But this isn't even my biggest complaint about clouds. Let's go to number 1. Bad cloud lighting. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, what are you talking about? Look at the clouds in this footage. They look amazing. And I agree, these look great. When they're backlit. When they're lit head on, they become this mashed potato-y mess with almost no detail. And it took me a while to figure out why that is. I think what's happening is because they're voxel, Flight Simulator's clouds get their shading only from how much light can get through them before it's absorbed. Meaning their only lighting comes from their shadow pass. I did a test. This isn't voxels, it's just a bunch of spheres, but it shows what happens when you only use shadows. From the sides you get some definition, but from the front it's just white. And you can see that happening in a ton of Flight Simulator footage. Compare that to normal solid shading, where you get a nice fall off of shading and a bit of specular highlight, and real-world clouds do both, as you can see here. So let's take a screenshot and see if we can't fix the lighting. If my theory's correct, what's missing is the highlights where the sun is most direct. I'm going to take the cloud shapes, shrink them, and blur their lighting a bit, and add it all back on top. So compare that to the original, and I don't know, I think that looks a whole lot better. And if you're still saying, come on, it's voxel-based clouds, you can't expect perfect photorealism yet. Well, I agree, but the Red Dead Redemption 2 cloud effects, they were voxels, and they managed to get this kind of lighting. So it's clearly possible. And considering this is a flight simulator, where half the time you're going to be flying through clouds, it's really important to get this right. Well, that's my list. I am still super excited for the game to come out, and I think it's going to be great no matter what. Don't bother to like or subscribe, that doesn't really affect me in any way, and have a good day.